I think Clemson's better than Florida State this year, but I think Florida State can beat them. I know they lost to Georgia Tech, and everybody acts like the world ended because they never lose. But everyone eventually loses. They lost, big deal. But yeah, I think they can give Clemson a game. I think that Florida State, it's amazing to me how little respect they get, especially after the run they were on with Jameis Winston and a national championship, and then Heisman's and all the rest. They won so many games, 30, in a row. I can't even keep track of it. But, Georgia Tech beat them, la-di-da, now everyone's written them off. They have one loss. I mean, Clemson's unbeaten. They could have lost to Notre Dame, but they didn't. I think, Clemson killed Miami. Clemson will win this week. It's going to be a good game. Obviously, Clemson has an edge playing in Death Valley. I'd say about, in that type of a game, I'd say about 3 or 4 points max. I don't think it's going to be that much higher than that in terms of the number, in terms of a spread. I'd be real surprised if it was like 6 or 7, to be honest with you. You can't give Florida State that many points. They can score, and they can play, and they got speed and talent and size. Jimbo's got he's got everything that he needs to perform against anybody, any game, anywhere, any day. So I think that'll be a hell of a game. They got a shot. I personally don't see Florida State in the mix right now for the playoff at all. They're ranked 17th. Now, if things play out the way they are, there's so many teams ahead of them that I think will play out, win out, and be in that thing before Florida State would be in it. So, no, I don't see that happening. Now, if they beat Clemson, obviously they're going to jump from 17 into the top 10, I would think, if they win that game. I mean, because that's a big win if they were able to pull that off. But there's a lot of teams ahead of them that, now, some people would say they're better than Michigan. Michigan blew that game against Michigan State. They literally gift wrapped it and said, here, you take it. But Michigan should be 6-1, but they blew it. But I really don't see how they're, that much better than Florida State. They got Memphis ahead of Florida State because they're unbeaten, and then Oklahoma. Utah got spanked by USC, but they're still ahead of them. Oklahoma State's ahead of them. Florida, Iowa's unbeaten. They're ahead of them. Notre Dame and Temple this week. That's a big game. Stanford, I think, is a sleeper for the playoff. Alabama would get in ahead of them. Michigan State would get in ahead of them. TCU would get in ahead of them. LSU would get in ahead of them. Baylor would get in ahead of them. Ohio State would get in ahead of them. I don't see them getting in, no.